Greetings! I am Tantus Naravan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire, and welcome. We're trying something different today. I'm going to show you a game of magic. Now, what does this mean? You can't see me. I'll probably show a little picture in the top corner there of myself. But let's explain what's going on. Now, this is a time-tested tradition. This is something you can do yourself. So what it is I have two decks here. I have two different decks I've made. Now, what you can do with this game here is you're going to play test it. You're going to be doing solitaire with magic. This is perfectly fine to do solitaire with magic. Now let me explain what this means. This is something that's used by beginners a lot, but also more experienced players use it too. It's used to test a deck mainly. This is what you're going to be doing. You're testing out the deck you're building. So that's why I'm going to say I'm testing both these decks against each other. Now traditionally, what you'd be doing is you'd have a deck you've made ahead of time, and a deck you just made, and you'd be testing this against it, seeing what kind of flaws this deck has, since you already have this deck established, seeing what kind of things you might have to change in here. This technique is something I personally don't use. I've gotten to the point in time where I'm pretty good at building decks, but I know some friends who do use this technique, and it is a very decent technique anyway. I've been known to try this out, especially if I have a lot of questions about a deck. Let's say if I just finished this deck, and I'm pretty confident in it, but I want to see how it performs. I might play it against the other one, just to test it out. So that's what you're doing. You're testing out the deck. And usually, you'd at least want to play once, but you could play from anywhere from 3 to 5 times, even more, depending on how much you want to see how these decks stack up and what kind of problems your new deck has. That's what it is. Normally, it's established deck versus new deck. Now, the thing is, what I'm doing today is I'm going to be displaying the game of Magic. That's what I'm doing today. So I'm going to be playing these two decks against each other, and it's the normal game of Magic, and we're going to see who wins. I'll try to get it so that you can see the cards. Now this is going to be a little tricky, but I'll try my best here. Okay, let's start. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle both these decks. Give them a quick shuffle. I'll explain all the cards and all the phases as I go. So this is just the beginning of the game. Now you can see I did two types of dice here. I have only one set of dice out, but I'm sharing it between two of them. The D20 is the traditional one to use for most life counters. It's what you're going to have because your life starts at 20. But you could also have percentile, which is two 10-sided dice. One that, as you can see, goes to 10th place, and one that's normal. So that's another way of marking life. And these are here in case we have tokens. So let me give this deck a shuffle too. Just a quick shuffle. This is just one technique. You could do a couple of techniques. If you really wanted to, you could do the pile shuffle like they do in most. I like this technique. There is also another one where I'll show this a little bit here, where you do this, where you set these out in an odd number of piles, and you continue doing this for a while until the deck goes away. That's a pile shuffle, it's called. That's actually the traditional way that you'd want to do it if you really want to shuffle your deck, and you'd probably want to do that at a tournament, pile shuffle it, especially in front of your opponents. But I know these decks are shuffled, I'm just giving them a quick shuffle here. Okay, so there's a couple of techniques we can have to determine who goes first. The easiest, of course, would be rolling a die. This side rolls a 17, this side rolls a 5. Now, there are some other techniques you can use. You can check the bottom card of your deck. Let's see here. My bottom card here starts with a C. That means that if opponent's card started with an A or B, they would go first. Now my mana cost is 4. That means if their mana cost is more than 4, they would go first. These are other techniques you can use to go first. But let's say, for determination, this deck's going first, we just chose it. So, he draws 7 cards. 5, 6, 7. Let's see what we got here. 1 mana. This is not a very good hand. I'm thinking, as looking at this hand, I want to take a mulligan, because I only have 1 mana here. Now these are my Khans of Tarkir decks. So these means these decks are the current sort of top of the line tournament legal for everything. Because the Khans of Tarkir was the last full block published. That means this is legal in your modern decks, in your legacy, in a Khans of Tarkir block. This deck, I could play at a tournament now probably. Well, again, it's pretty large, so I might want to, take another one. So I'm going to take a mulligan. Now, as I've said before, in a tournament situation, I would go down to 6 cards here. Now, because I do friendly games with my friends, and this is especially because this is a test-out game, I'm going to keep with 1 free mulligan, which means if this hand really stinks again, then I will definitely go down to 6 next time. Now, there's another thing that usually you're supposed to do, which I didn't do, is Because I know I shuffled my 2 decks, is cut. Usually you cut your opponent's deck. So let's draw a 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So we're putting it back here. This is your library. This is your deck of cards. And of course we'll have a graveyard down here. Let's take a look here. I've got 3 lands. So, actually 4 lands, I'm sorry. So I've got a island, an Evolving Wilds. I'll explain these as I use them. A Dismal Backwater, a Jungle Hollow, an Enchantment, an Instant, and a Dragon. Now, this is my Dragon, Khans of Tarkir deck. So, this hand is good. So, now it's my first turn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through. I'm going to show you this deck's cards. And I'm going to explain the first couple of rounds, every phase that we go through. So the first couple of rounds, like the first 3 rounds, I'm going to explain every phase. Because after that, you're never going to mention the phases you go through. You just go through them, you know. But right now, I'm going to mention them. So this is 7 cards for this hand. Let's take a look here. Oop, oop, oop. Now this is my warrior deck mainly, warrior soldier deck. And I appear to have 3 lands. I appear to have all 3 colors that this deck has. Oh, nope, I don't have green. But that's okay. I have some white. I have some red. I have some black. Oh, that's right. This is a 4-color deck. That's a rainbow deck. So that's the difference between the 2 of them. I got a creature, instant sorcery. So I got a plains and 2 special lands. 2 instants of sorcery and a human. So I should be able to play the humans. Okay, let's go. So first thing I would do is untap. I don't have anything to untap, so I'm not going to bother about it. So now I'm going to play a land. So what do I play? I want to most likely play one of these 2. So these 2 lands, they come into play tapped. But each of them taps for 2 colors of mana. Another thing that you get from it is extra life. This one gives you 1 life, this one gives you 1 life. This one taps for green and black, this one taps for blue and black. Let's see my hand. I've got green, so I'm going to want green. So Jungle Hollow comes out, now I gain a life. Now how do I gain a life with a d20? This is the easiest way to gain life. Oh, I gained a life. That's it. Now I can't play anything else, I pass my turn. So, untap, upkeep, then I drew. I want drawing as the first turn. Then I have my main phases. For my first main phase, I played this land. So I went into combat. I didn't have any creatures. Don't fight. So then, second main phase. Don't have any mana. Then it's end turn. I don't have 7 cards. No more mana, no more damage. Everything ends. So it's really hard to explain it right then and there. We'll try to expand on it as I go. Okay, let's do it again. So first off, untap, nothing to untap. Upkeep, nothing that says upkeep. Draw, draw my first card. Okay, let's see here, it's another instant. This one, let's see here. Okay, now I will again explain these as I go. Now I also have 2 lands which give me life when they come into play. A white-black and a black-red. Let's see what colors I have. I don't have any black, so we're going to go for the white-black right now. Because nothing costs 1 in my hand anyway. So we're going to play that out. Well, so after I've drawn, it's main phase. So I'm going to play my land in my first main phase. I gain a life. This one changes too. Alright. Can't do anything else. So I go to combat, no thing fights. Go to my second main phase, nothing happens. Go to my discard. I've got 7 cards in hand. I'm okay. So my end step is done. So now it's this hand's turn. Okay, I'm drawing my cards. So I'm going to untap. Whoop, I untapped everything. Upkeep, nothing. Draw my card. Okay, it's an artifact. An artifact that gives me mana, so it's going to be helpful in a little bit. Now, I don't have anything that costs 2, so I'm not going to want to play my islands yet, or my Evolving Wilds. I'll explain that when I play it. So I'm going to play another one of these lands that gives me life when it comes to play. Comes to play tapped. Taps for 2 mana. Again, another one. Puts me up to 22. And that's my main phase. I don't have anything else I can do. Nothing costs 1 mana. So I pass. I end my turn. I go through my end step. I don't have to discard. My opponent goes. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Ooh, a tapped land. Red and green. That's actually really good, as I have both red and green in my hand. So I'm going to want to play that one definitely right now. So main phase, I'm playing that, gaining a life. I don't have anything that costs 1. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to pass the turn. I'm going to pass it again. End step, I still have 7 cards. Other hand's turn. Okay. Untap. Draw. Now I'm just stacking those up right now, just because I want to. But you can stack your lands however you want when you're playing them. There's a lot of different people that stack them. So I'm going to play the island right now, because I have this 3 mana cost artifact, which taps for a green, blue, or red. So I'm going to want to play this now. I can also, later on, if I don't need any more, tap 3 mana, a green, blue, red, tap it, sacrifice it, which means I put it into my graveyard, and I can draw a card. So later on, when I have a lot of lands, I can get rid of this for a card. But for now, I'm going to play it, and effectively have more mana. So now I have 4 mana over here. And so that means next turn, I'm going to have 4 to play with. Alright, so let's end it here. Because I can't play anything else, I'm out of mana. I'm down to 1 mana. Nothing costs 1 in my hand. So I pass the turn over to here. I'm going to tap it up, tap, upkeep, nothing, draw. Ooh, a forest. Let's see here. So now I have enough that I could cast a couple of spells here. Now my creature I could put out if I wanted to. If I wanted to wait a turn, that might be a good idea. Now I'm going to take a look at him here. So his special ability is each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on has flying. He's a 2/3 creature, human soldier. His special ability is Outlast. I can pay a white and tap him to put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. I have to play it as a sorcery, meaning I have to play it during my main phase, and I can't play it the turn I put him into play. So this might be a good thing to put out now. So what lands give me that option? Well, you know what? My forest does. So I'm going to play my forest. Tap 3. Going to tap this one for a white. Doesn't matter the color here. Doesn't matter the color here because it costs me a white and 2 colorless. And play him. I got a creature out. Alright, so he's affected by summoning sickness. I can't attack this turn. I can't go, so my combats get skipped. My other main phase, I'm out of mana. So I'm going to end it. End step. Damage gets taken away. Turn it over. Oh, let's see here. Another Evolving Wilds. That's not bad. But I have 4 right now, so I'm going to want to play something for 4. Let's see here. You cost 6. You cost 7. At the beginning of each main phase, add 2 green mana to your mana pool. Okay, so this enchantment here is pretty good. It has 2 options. When I play it, I have to choose Khans or Dragons. If I choose Khans, I get 2 green mana at the beginning of my main phase. Phases. Each of them. If I choose Dragon, when a creature with flying enters the battlefield under my control, I may have it fight target creature I don't control. Fighting means it deals its power and damage to a creature. That creature deals its power and damage back. So they trade damage. They trade their power worth of damage to each other. So as having a dragon deck where my dragons are nice and big, I can kill off smaller creatures by just playing them outright. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play out an Evolving Wilds. I'm going to use that. I'm going to explain that in a second. And I think I'm going to put out the Frontier Surge. And the thing is, I will have 5 mana with this. This 2 extra mana might help me a lot. So I am going to play it, because I got a green here. I'm play Frontier Surge, and I'm only going to play Khans. So I got 2 extra mana during my main phases. Doesn't help right now. So let's see. Let's use this Evolving Wilds, because it's the last thing I'm going to do in the turn. I can sacrifice it, search my library for a basic land, and put it in the battlefield tapped. Then I shuffle my library, which means I tap it, I sacrifice it, it goes into my graveyard, I take my library. Oh look, let's see what colors I need. It's always a good question. Red. I don't have any red. I do have a little bit of red over here. I have blue. I don't have white. And this guy, this big guy over here, costs me white. So let's search for a plains in this deck. So we search through the deck, we look through, we know what we want. There's not a lot of basic lands in this deck because it's a 5-color deck, so I made it with a lot of non-basic lands. That was my design. So, there's the plains. So it comes to play tapped, I can't use it. Now the thing is, with this ability, I could have used that on my opponent's turn. I could have waited. I could have used it at any time I wanted to, because lands don't have summoning sickness. So I could have waited till the end of my opponent's turn, but I did it right now because I don't have the mana to use anything with it. It's just if I had a land open over here, maybe I would have been like, oh, maybe I can do something with that. Maybe I have a trick. You never know. No, it does come into play tapped, but maybe I'd have a trick. So now I'm going to pass the turn to my opponent. All right, let's see what I can play now. This is expensive. This one's not bad, but it doesn't help right now. Let's hear this one. Draw Mars Command. Choose 2. Prevent all damage to instant or sorcery would deal this turn. Target player sacrifice an enchantment. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Target you control does affect target creature you don't control. Now, I don't like his enchantment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this land and just gain some life. Whoop. Get it out of the way. Because I have a green and a white here, since I can tap these for either color. So green and white, I'm going to play, of course, Draw Mars Command. So what am I going to do with these 2 options? Well, the first one is target player sacrifices an enchantment. I want to do that. I want him to sacrifice that enchantment. What that means is he has to, by choice, choose one of his enchantments and put it into his graveyard. Now he only has one enchantment, so he's going to do it right away. So what's the other ability I can do? Because I can choose 2 of these. I don't have to prevent any damage. He doesn't have anything for me to fight. So how about that +1/+1 counter? Sure. I'll put on a creature I control. Now the thing is, I can't use his Outlast ability because I don't have mana. I don't have white mana open to use it. But I can attack with him. Oop! I stole his life. Oops. So he's doing 3 damage now to my opponent. So my opponent, who had gained 2 life, takes 3 damage, goes down to 19. Why don't we upgrade this? Go ahead and roll down dice. Now I will show something else here, just because I want to show them, and I'm not using them right now. There's a roll down die. These come with the fat packs of magic, the large boxes of magic you can buy, that are like this big. I'll show you one another time. But they go down very easily. I'm just going to use the normal dice now, because maybe you don't have the roll down. So now I've had a pretty productive turn. I got rid of his enchantment, stopped a little mana production on his end, slowed him down a little bit, dealt him some damage. So it's his turn. He untaps. Upkeep, I don't have anything over here. I draw a card. Alright. Let's see here. Ooh, more mana. You know what? I could take a hit this turn and get something out, because I only have 5 mana. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this Evolving Wilds again. I'm going to tap some mana here. Like that. And play another artifact which taps for mana. Now this is a different set of colors. This is black, green, and blue, instead of green, blue, and red. So it's a different set of colors. Now again, I don't have the mana to do anything, but it looks like I have some pretty good. I'll use this again. Let's get another basic land. How about a mountain this time? I'll look for a mountain. Let me just quickly go through it. There's a swamp at least. I could always get that swamp out. But I think I want a mountain out. Again, I could have waited to do this. It's a definite option. Do I have a mountain in this deck? And there's the mountain at the top. Of course it was. So now I'm going to shuffle up again, because I just searched for a land. And again, I'm willing to take a hit from this creature here, because then I'm going to get a big creature out and be like, haha! Because I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can get my 7 mana cost creature out next turn. This is mana ramp. This is what it's called. Now, that's what these artifacts are. I'm ramping up a little bit of mana here so that I got more mana, even though I've been playing it. So I'm on this 5th turn here. I've got enough mana to cost that. So I'm going to press a turn now. So I'm going to untap over here. Let's see here. Oh, drew another land. So I'm drawing a lot of lands here, which is actually not that helpful. So let's see what I got here. I got a couple spells I could play, but they're not too helpful. Perennial damage that we dealt to you and permanent you control by sources you don't control. See, these are pretty nice spells, but none of them are really helpful right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep my attack. I could Outlast, but right now he's wide open. So it's a much better idea for me to do this and deal him another 3 and get him to 16. Alright. I'm going to end my turn. I have mana open. I do have a couple of instants in case I need to use them. Alright. So it's my turn over here. Untap. Draw a card. It's another dragon. Ooh. So I think, assuming there's another creature spell, interest until end of turn. Well, I could have played him. I forgot I could have done his ability. But I'm going to do my legendary dragon here, OG Soul of Winter. He's a flying vigilance, meaning he doesn't tap to attack. And whenever a dragon I control attacks, tap target non-land permanent an opponent controls. That means anything other than a land that's out on the battlefield, like his creature, an artifact, enchantment, any of those sort of things. That permanent doesn't untap during the controller's next untap step, meaning you skip a turn of untapping it. So that's a pretty good effect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got OG, the Soul of Winter, out. I'm like, haha! Look at this. I've got a big creature. You can't attack me now. Now, my opponent goes to his end step. Now, what can I do? I can get an instant in, because I want to save my mana for doing something else during my turn. So I'm going to tap this 4 and be like, well, that was really nice that you did this, but I'm going to destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Well, that's a creature with flying. It's destroyed. Into the graveyard it goes. Oh no! I just messed him up. Ooh. So I drew an enchantment. I think this is one I want to play. It's called Gleam of Authority. I enchant a creature. So this targets my creature here. The target creature gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on other creatures you control. And he has Vigilance and tap Bolster 1. To bolster, choose a creature with the least toughness among creatures you control and put a +1/+1 counter on it. This is pretty good, but I don't think it's going to help this guy right now. So I'm going to wait on this until I get another creature. I'm having trouble here of not drawing creatures. Now I have a couple of things here I can do against him still. But I instead will just do him 3 damage again. Because you know what? Let's try to get this battle done with. Quickly get it done. That's what it was. I don't want to like keep this battle going too long. Okay. So we untap over here. And draw our card. More dragons, that's great. And these dragons are morph dragons. So I haven't explained morph before, but if I play 3 colorless, I can put these creatures down as 2/2 creatures. And then if I pay, these creatures have a special ability called Megamorph. It's better than normal morph. If I pay these big costs here, I can flip them from upside down like this, where they're 2/2, to this. And then not only do they get all their abilities, it gets a +1/+1 counter. And see, this one also says, when it's turned face up, put a +1/+1 counter on each other dragon you control. So these creatures both have that ability. So they're very good. They help out other dragons. But I think what I'm going to do right now is play my Pristine Skywise. He's a flying one. I have to tap 6 of my mana, and whenever I cast a non-creature spell, so any spell other than a creature, I can untap him, and it gains protection from the color of my choice until end of turn. I've explained protection in a little bit in one of my videos. It basically means I can choose a color, whoop, and that color can't deal him damage, he can't be blocked by that color, and he can't be targeted by spells of that color. It's pretty good. So now I'm in trouble over here. He's ending his turn. I'm going to untap. I'm going to draw a card. Let's see what I get. Ward in the First Tree. That's a pretty good one. So I'm going to play Forest. Now he has an ability that I can pay mana and basically give him more powers. For a colorless and a black or a white, that's what that little symbol means there, black or white, he becomes 3/3. For 2 colorless, a black and white, and 2 black or whites, he also gains lifelink and trample. I've explained trample. Lifelink means when he deals damage, I gain that much life. And then for another 6, 3 colorless, and then 3 of either white or black, if he's a spirit, he put 5 +1/+1 counters on him. So basically, I keep getting him better. So I'm going to play him right now. Ward in the First Tree. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with... I don't have enough mana to level him to the second one, but I can definitely give him Gleam of Authority and make him the 3/3. So I've made him the 3/3 now. So I'm going to put this on here to mark it. I'm going to use this D12 since it goes up high enough for now. Just marking he's a 3/3. If I can find a 3 on here. There it is. And so now he is just a 3/3 with Vigilance. Actually, it's a 4/4 because of him. And he doesn't have any +1/+1 counters, so he doesn't fly, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't have any more mana to do anything. I will either take a hit from that thing, but then he might counterattack. So that's a good question. It was what I'm going to do. Okay. Now I know he's got this big creature here. So it's a gamble for me if I want to use my morph creatures, because they don't start out very good. I got Monastery Siege. Okay. This was the beginning of my draw step. I draw an additional card, then discard one. Or, spells your opponent's cast that target you or permanents you control cost 2 more. I think I like that one. It means it's more expensive to target my things. So like when he cast that spell which killed my dragon, this will make it more expensive. And you know what? I put out one of my morph creatures too. So I'm going to put out a Monastery Siege. And I think I will put out the Stormwing. He has First Strike, which is very good, meaning he hits first. Now I have played a non-creature spell. So I'm going to give him protection from white. And I'm going to swing over here. Let's go back a little bit, because I'm trying to make a big mistake here. So what I would do is, I would cast a non-creature spell, untap one, yeah, I don't have another non-creature spell I can cast, unfortunately, to take advantage of this. Because that would be really great. Because if I had another non-creature spell, I could use that to untap him. Now, I could have attacked with this thing right now, because he's a 3/3. So I probably could have done that. I could have attacked. He probably wouldn't have blocked it. I know I wouldn't have. So let's just say I did that, for example. let's do this as a very good example of a battle where I'm not making major mistakes. Because you know what? You can make a mistake and mess up. So that's what I would have done. It's because he's a 6/4 and he's a 3/4. Meaning he can do 3 damage to him, not kill him. I don't have anything to really do anything about that, unfortunately. So I wouldn't do that anyway. I like my creature here. So I'm taking the 6 damage from that attack. But then I'm playing this to untap it. But the protection didn't really matter. I could have played an instant. He doesn't know that. But that's sort of how I would do it. As I would have used my first main phase. I would have waited, skipped my first main phase, went into attack, and then played these spells in my second main phase after I've attacked. Because I can use this ability to untap him and have him to defend now. See, that's what I'm doing. I'm comboing in things. This is a synergy. This isn't a really big combo. This is synergy. Playing this means I could untap him. And now this thing also gives him defense. Gives this creature defense. So now I think I'm a little trouble over here. He's got some good creatures. Let's see here. Explosive Vegetation. That's a pretty good one. I search my library for 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle my library. Let's see here. How much do I have? I don't have enough to level him up and do Explosive Vegetation, which kind of sucks. Now I am worried about his thing. Let's see here. Bolster, target creature with the least toughness. So, I think what I can do here is I can totally pay to bolster my own creature here. So now he has a +1/+1 counter also. Meaning now he flies. I'm willing to take another hit. I'm at 17. And I'm going to use this Explosive Vegetation just to get this mana because it's worth it. So I have a lot of green and white. Put a mountain out. If I can find a swamp, there's a swamp, put a swamp out. Okay, so I just got a big chunk of mana there, just because I kind of feel like I need it. Now, it's not worth it for me to attack. I'm not going to be blocking anyway. At most right now, he could deal me 9 damage, so I'd be down to 8. But if I did that, I could pump up my Falconer and make him a 4, meaning that next time I do attack, I could kill that dragon. It might be worth it for that. Now note, I may have made a mistake here also again. Because Bolster isn't a ability I had to use right away. So I could say this now. I can keep this Bolster mana open like this and wait until my enemy's turn. Meaning preventing him from attacking with this. But I think I will do at least do that and make him a little bigger. Because it's worth it then I could use this to kill that dragon next time. Okay, I'm ending my turn. So we untap over here. Ooh, another dragon, and it's a nice dragon. When he dies, destroy target non-creature permanent. I kind of like this one. I like getting out another dragon, especially because when I turn this guy upstride right, all my dragons get +1/+1 counters. Do I have a second green? Now the unfortunate... Oh, there I do. I have one over here. Hey, 2 over here. So it's 6 mana. Devastator Dragon. So now I'm getting really good with these dragons. So that's a difficulty of my opponent. Now, I could attack right now, and I think I probably will take advantage of it. Attack him. Do a 6. Put him down to 11. Alright, so I'm untapping over here. This adventure is going very long. Sorry about that. Comes into play, I gain a life. Go up to 12. But having to explain everything, so this game is taking a little longer. Next game will take a little shorter. Alright, so I have a lot of mana now. First off, I'm going to level up my guy here. He has Trample and Lifelink. Now I want 6 mana to give his really good ability. So he's Trample, Lifelink, Vigilance. See, I didn't play a non-creature spell. Trample, Lifelink, Vigilance. And he's a 4/4. He destroys a non-creature portal, so he can get rid of my Gleam of Authority if he dies. So, you know what? It might be worth it to attack with my Falconer. Because, let's see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have enough mana to activate his last ability, which is really good right now. How much mana do I have open? I don't have enough to do this spell. I really should have kept it open. I'm thinking I'm going to save these abilities. And I'm going to gamble on it, because I have enough things to block 2 of his dragons, so it'd be okay. So I'm going to end my turn here. We're going to see how this goes. This might be terrible, this might be great. Alright, ooh, Volcanic Rush double. See, now this is where the gamble came in. If I had left mana open on this side, I would have been okay about what I'm about to do. But I think I'm going to do it over this side and end this game. Because right now, I mean, this isn't bad, but I don't want him to get his ability activated. So I think I'm going to Volcanic Rush to go in for the win. So what does Volcanic Rush do? Let's do it. We have just enough mana to cast one of them, unfortunately. All my attacking creatures get +2/+0 and trample. I mean, my creatures just get bigger now. Well, bam. So now I have an 8/4, a 6/4, and a 4/2. Because he's a 2/2 creature. And I'm going to just go for the attack. Because I can see there, right now, he has enough power to deal me 8. So he's got 4 power here, 5 power here. Meaning he absorbed 9 damage. He's got 12 hit points, meaning I have to do 21 damage. Normally I do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now I would play this after I declared attacks. Because guess what? I can untap him, and I could declare white can't block him. So this is the order. Since this is an instant, I could go, I'm attacking with everything. Then tap all this mana. Then play this spell. Then untap him because of his ability, and give him protection from white. So now he can't be blocked by this guy. He can still be blocked by this guy. He gained lifelink here, unfortunately. But if he doesn't block, he's going to die. He knows that. Because the fact is, even this 4 and 6 wouldn't kill him. He'd have to block 1 creature. He has to block 1 of these creatures at least. But the thing is, these 2 would kill him. That's 8 and 6. It's 14. Actually, no. Okay, yeah, this gamble's still good because I have this blocker here. I have a blocker open. You know, see, this is why this gamble is still good. Because I'm going to hit him for a big damage. Now, he can choose to try to kill off 2 of my creatures. He can do that. The thing is, he'd have to lose 2 of his creatures, too. This creature can kill this creature very easily. But he's probably going to use this one to kill this one. Because the flying's not going to matter much on this next turn. I'm going to try to go for the win with this dude over here on my next turn. That's probably what I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to block this one to the Devastator Dragon. They'll kill each other. And this one's going to block the... Oh, no, actually. Yeah, I'm going to block the Devastator Dragon. That's probably going to be the best bet right now. Just because. Yeah, because I want to keep him alive. Now I could bolster him, which technically would bolster this guy. But he'd live. Thing is, I don't want both of them to get through. Because this is doing 8, this is doing 10 damage. I can't stop that. I can at most wait till this dies and then bolster him afterwards. That's going to be my best bet right now. The thing is, I would have to sacrifice this creature if I'm going to block any of them. So these 2 die. Of course I'm going to target the enchantment. But, while that's going off, we're going to use the stack. In response to that, I'm tapping him to put this up to 2. Because I can in response. We'll switch these around. 3 over here, 2 over here. See, that's how it works. Okay, now I'm in bad shape over here, because I still took 10 damage. I'm at 2. So I got to draw something really great. A mountain, that's actually not bad, because I need mana for my 2 abilities I want to use. So, I could use both these spells, but first off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have enough mana to do one of these. Now he doesn't have mana open, so I could get him a big hit and gain some life back. And I think I will just leave myself open and use this. Because he's going to wildly want to go for the attack. So I control the power, so this one here. Just 1 damage to each creature I don't control. And if I have a creature with power 4 or greater, creatures can't block this turn. I'm going to play this. This is a good one to play. Because if he chooses not to attack, I can always spend the mana to put him up. Right now, you can't block him. He's got a power 4. Actually, he's got a power of 5. So, he's going to attack. I will gain 5 life from that. Puts me at 7. Alright, so that was a decent exchange before. Let's see here. Oh, Fearsome Awakening. Return a dragon to the battlefield. Graveyard, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. I think I want to play this one and get a dragon back. Get a nice one back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to play it. I'm going to get back my Soul of Winter. He also has 2+1/+1 counters on it. Let's put that on. That was a good move. And then, of course, I'm going to attack with the Pristine Skywise. Now, I could have waited to untap him, but I've got him out. I'm feeling confident that I don't have to worry about it. Also, he can't block me anyway. So I'm doing him 6 damage. Now, I have choices here. Because I have this guy out now, I'm choosing to have him not untap. That's my ability now. I mentioned him before. Non-land permanent and opponent controls doesn't untap for a turn. So, oof, I've stopped him. Now I'm doing 6 damage. Ooh. You know what? I think, at this point in time, I would take this damage. I would take it. I would take it, because I'm just going to live up that I can't do anything. And save that mana. Then at the end of my turn, I'm going to pay to go up. Because I'm not untapping him now, because I lost an untap turn. Which is fine, which is fine. Might as well play this Explosive Vegetation. Leave the mana open for the other spell. Get some more mana out, at least. So if I can live another turn, I'll be ready for something big if I draw it. I'm running out of cards, unfortunately. Which is not good. And my creature's a 10-10! Oh, he's big! He's 10-10. Trample. Lifelink. Oh, I'm sorry, this enchantment went away. I forgot that. Sorry about that. Didn't remove it. Now, fortunately, I haven't been targeting any of his creatures and stuff, so that has been good because I haven't had the mana to pay for it. But I passed my turn now. Where did I put my hand? I'll draw a card. Put my hand in my graveyard. Okay. Try to put my hand in my graveyard. Okay, so I've got 2 dragons now. I drew another Pristine Skywise. Wow. That'd be great to play. I could go for the win now very easily. Question is, what do I want to do? I could keep him tapped with this. And you know what? I am indeed going to go for the win now. Now he has mana untapped. He has a card. I'm just going to go for the basic kill. I'm going to keep him open. I'm just going to use him, the Pristine Skywise. I'm going to attack with him. Now I'm going to, of course, counter that with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. 6. I'm preventing all damage that be dealt to me. Now the unfortunate thing is, I can have it deal damage to target creature. I know he could protect that if he casts an instant. That's the thing is, I'm kind of in trouble. I can blow up this. He's too big. So the thing is, I think he's going to kill off this guy. Oh no. Sucks. But it happens. I'm kind of out of stuff to do. Oh, I'll play another Pristine Skywise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll have another one out. Bam! Because why not? My turn over here, he's still tapped. Because I used that ability on him again. I'm going to draw. I have Ghastly Conscription. It means I can get a bunch of creatures that can't block his stuff. Exile creatures from target player's graveyard, face down pile, shuffle those piles, shuffle that pile, manifest those cards. Meaning I could take all the creatures from his graveyard, all the dragons that have died, I can manifest them, which means I put them down as 2/2 creatures on my side. I can pay their mana cost to turn them face up. It specifically says that here. I can turn them face up anytime for the mana cost of the creature card, but I have not enough mana to get at least 2 creatures out because he's going to... Oh, I'm kept blocked. And he can just block them because he has enough dragons and Uji's out. And I'm just in bad shape and I lose. So this side is lost now. I don't even have to finish paying it out. We just know it's lost. Now this has been a long one, but I wanted to do one of these games like this. So, good game. We shake it out. You know, both sides have ended it. We know who's won. We know who's lost. Alright then, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned from this gameplay that I'm showing. I'm going to do one more of these gameplay videos, and then I'm probably going to do some videos with me playing against my friends and other members of the Empire. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, Leave a comment if you have any questions about this game that we've taken place, if anything that's occurred. Please share this video. We always want some more support. Make sure you're subscribed. That means the world to me. It means that you're supporting the videos. And until the next time, I bid you farewell.